Okay, 1 second, guys. I think we are live. If you guys can hear us, please let us know in the chat on the side. Just me and fellers today. Um, let's see. Okay, yeah, we are live. We're ready to go. I can hear myself again. I think it's the same thing as last time.
What do you mean?
Oh wait, maybe not. Maybe it's good. All right. Anyways, welcome back to another episode. It is Monday, November 25th, coming fresh off of the Iowa State dual meet. Um, yeah, I guess we could just get straight to it. I got like an opening statement. If you want me to do, you want me to start with the opening statement?
Go ahead.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, hats off to Iowa. Hats off to Bob and company for pulling off what they were able to pull off on Saturday night. They look great, you know. Great atmosphere for wrestling. Obviously, I gotta say, this is probably the last time that I'll go to Carver Hawkeye Arena for a dual meet. Just is not an environment for me to be going to anymore. I can't be doing that. I gotta stay home and watch it from now on. I felt like Iowa State guys were ready. I didn't feel like any of our guys. I mean, honestly, before this duel meet, I was like, man, our guys. It just seemed like they just weren't ready yet for this duel. This duel seemed early, and it seems like our lineup had so much to shake out. But honestly, I felt like for the most part, Iowa State guys were ready to go. It was just at the end of the day, they, Bob and company did a great job putting this roster together for Iowa, and they showed up, and it is what it is. I was a good team, and like I said, I've always said this before the stream last week that this was a good litmus test for Iowa State. That's what it was. Some people call it a rivalry. I just said it's a good litmus test for the guys, and we were able to see what we're like against some of the best guys in the country. So that's my opening statement. I'll give the floor to fellers.
Did Dresser feed you that or what?
No, I mean,
I
which
mean,
part?
I kind of echoed what Dresser said to his presser. What do you mean, Bob and company? This is the world that we live in these days, isn't it?
Absolutely, I'm not refuting that. I'm not refuting that at all. I'm saying like if I'm
Which
gonna
lineup has more? Hey, hold on. Which lineup has more transfers?
I'm not have a problem with transfers. That's a big misconception. I put out that instant video
So what are you trying
reaction.
to say? Bob and company put together a good roster. I mean, that's what you're insinuating, right?
Okay, you're a businessman, right? If you're a businessman, no, listen. If you're a businessman, and I'm congratulating your company,
Oh,
I'm probably not gonna list out every single person that's in the hierarchy of
okay.
you know what I'm saying. I'm just gonna say the
Uh,
top
this
guy. I'm
is
just gonna
this is well rehearsed. This is really you've done a lot of thinking about this today while you're at the shop, haven't you?
No, I'm just
It's a good
saying like
job.
no, I'm just gonna say the owner's name, and then everybody else is just there's the owner, and then there's everybody else. I don't need to go and think I was dietitian and I was nutritionist and I was strength guy.
Oh, you said I was. Did you say I was owner?
Yeah, I'm just saying like no, I'm just saying like I'm just gonna thank the owner of the business, just the top guy.
Oh
That's it.
man, you're good. It's good. It's good.
I
So Tom gets a good bonus from his boss on this win or not, or
He
it's just not a
should.
big deal.
He should get a bonus. I mean, he should get a bonus if you give him the tools. He's gonna be able to play. That's it.
I guess. I thought it was a good duel.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, it. We said last week the first four were toss ups, and I mean after I gotta say though, like at 149, and it's always easy to play like Monday morning quarterback, but if I mean Etchemendia is he got this new turn on top and he's working for it, or what the hell's he doing? Like why are you even riding? Why are you even riding Parco? And especially if you're not going to go down in the third period, Zach. I can see if you're going to try to eat up a little bit of riding time, so if it takes more than a minute to get out. But then to go neutral in the third period, then why did you even start riding? I mean, he gave up 4 points and five. And, I mean, he gave up the locked hands, and Tom actually was challenging the cutback, and then he gave escape all in what 10 seconds,
yeah, I've
five
never seen
seconds.
I've never seen somebody be awarded 2 points after a challenge,
Well,
but
it was a locked hands,
no,
and
I
Tom.
know. I rewatched it. I rewatched it. It was.
But
I
what I'm
mean,
saying is like strategically, Etchemendia gets to the body, gets a takedown first period. And then second period, I don't even know why you're trying to ride him.
Yeah. I mean, I
If
felt
they
like there,
win that match, what's the final dual score end up then?
no, I agree with you. I feel like that was kind of like the Kennedy Gaetan moment for Iowa State in this duel was that
Or kind of
match.
like why did block go down in the third period when
That
you got rode for a minute in the second period? Like there was some just. I mean, overall, I would say I tell you who really impressed me is the kid from Ohio.
Connor Uden.
Uh, now I know you're going to say, "Oh, here come the excuses." I I definitely think that Caliendo didn't look right. I know there's maybe some sickness or illness going through. Maybe that's why you saw who you saw. I know you're going to say, "Oh, excuses." I'm giving that kid huge props, man. He got bummed up in his knee. It was a fuck. He's tough.
Yeah.
I don't see MJ Gatan ever breaking the lineup at 65. I think if Gatan breaks the lineup, he's going to go to 74.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what's being rumored now. And then, hey, if we're going to talk about 74, can we admit how right I was about not sending Riggins out there? Not necessarily because, like, matchup wise, I'm just saying, like, that was like I was big momentum shift. Like, coming out of the break, the shift was all in Iowa State's favor just because the unfortunate thing with Teamer. But then we come back, and even at 65, Iowa wins, but still the momentum felt like Iowa State. Like, I had Iowa State giving up bonus at 165. I'm high on Connor Uten, but Caliendo scores a lot of points, so I thought he was going to be able to score a lot more. And so the momentum after not giving up, after halftime, we're winning, and then we come back, we don't give up bonus at 65, and then at 74. And again, last week I said don't send Riggins out there in that environment. He's already wrestled against these guys. These Iowa guys are going to be confident, not scared going against Riggins because they know that they've beat him up time and time again in the Iowa room. Don't send him out there. Don't put him in this environment. You said send him out there. And I'll say this about Riggins, man. I'm still in his corner. A lot of Iowa State fans are kind of talking down upon him and stuff. The guy's been dealt a tough hand when it comes to the start of the year, especially coming to an environment where everybody said, this guy's a hot guy. He's coming over here. He's kind of going to have to like earn our trust in a sense. But you send him out there in that environment, it doesn't really help his resume at all. You said send him to the fire, but at the same time, Kennedy comes out. That was the loudest that place was the whole night when he walked out, especially
Was
after
it
by far. I felt like by
after
far.
after or before the match?
When Kennedy came out in the beginning was like the loudest pop I remember from the whole night.
So are you thinking that they want to see Kennedy versus Nelson Brands?
No, I'm just saying like when Kennedy came out there, that's when the whole momentum shift changed. And I knew that this type of thing was going to happen, and that's why I was wearing the face paint last week because I said that we need to go in there and be the bad guy. If you remember, that's what I said. I said Darth Maul, we need to be the bad guy because Tom Brands always has some tricks up his sleeve. Bad guys always have the tricks in their sleeves. They're the ones that always throws the conflict.
Ace in the hole, some call it. Yeah.
Yeah, they always have the conflict in the storyline. No story would be a story without the bad guy. And what I'm saying is Tom Brands always has something up his sleeve when it comes to Iowa State. Last year it was Arnold. This year it was two of them. Kennedy, no one thought was going to go out there. And I think some people thought maybe Angelo, but I didn't guess that. And so he kind of had two aces back to back where it got the momentum right back for Iowa. I mean, that was tough.
Uh, if there was any questions on Angelo Ferrari, I mean, here's a. Let me just play. Let me give this hypothetical to you. You got four guys at two weights with Angelo, Gabe, PK, and Nelson. So only two of them are going to wrestle, right? Um, if let's say Teamer's 100% healthy or Teamer didn't get hurt, if you spent a lot of money seemingly in this program or team that you put together, and Angelo, you think Angelo's better than Gabe, then why wouldn't you wrestle Angelo?
Say it again.
Let's say Teamer's healthy, right? Which you know what happens. If I kind of like I didn't understand why they didn't wrestle Gabe last year. It's like you only get one shot at this thing. Like if you've assembled this team and you got so much money into it, allegedly, no one's seen the transactions, but allegedly, why won't you put your best lineup out there? If you think Angelo's better than Gabe, I mean, if second place comes down to you lose by 5 points, you play the what if game. I mean, Angelo's definitely looks like he's going to score more points in match. I don't know if the opponent wise how it's going to happen, but that was a listen. That was a big moment for him pull out the Angelo card against is it Bachman or Brockman? How do you say his last name? Bachman.
Bachman.
And listen, who's done well, moving on. Right, if he must have a lot of. If they lose that match, they lose the duel.
I think he did it because he saw. I mean, I get what you're saying. I said last year, I don't know why Gabe Arnold didn't go, and Gabe said, that's a one and done thing. He wasn't going to do it, but apparently that's not seems to be the case. But I feel like Tom went to the Grandview Open, saw what he saw in Angelo, and was like, we could use this guy next week. Like they knew
you put the whole duel. He had enough faith in him. He put the whole duel on that guy's shoulders.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean him and Kennedy though, like why didn't Nelson go?
I don't know.
Like I think going into that,
I mean, Gabe even was planning on go 74 at the beginning of the year. That's what's really like odd with all this is like maybe they thrive in that they've always seemed to like a little bit of chaos and uncertainty going on there. I think it makes people maybe a little bit uneasy. Maybe they got to, but I'd be hard to press not to put Angelo at 84
right now.
Now I get this. Next year, Plot and Strachey and Kekaiser are all going to clear out. It's going to be him and Zack Ryder. I get the whole four-time national champ deal. I get all that, but next year's nothing's guaranteed for next year, right?
Right.
I hope we see Ferrari against Strachey. I tell you that.
Do you think that I think that you would rather see Ferrari and Sriracha? You don't care about the Gabe Arnold calling him out and all that.
There's way more different layers to the. I mean, look at the.
I guess you got the Ferrari Sriracha thing too. Like Angelo comes out.
Yeah, and the little brother. You said the little brother. Does Ferrari get? I mean, it's the only shot that they're either going to get each other in college, obviously, right? And if Gabe goes out there, let's say Gabe goes out there and gets his ass beat. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if he did, and you're going to use him in the postseason, I don't know.
Just see what's up.
Just confidence-wise.
Okay, so he's got, I think, 3 more dates after this one. So
or 4 more, right?
Well, Grandview counts, right?
I don't know. Does it? Maybe.
I think Grandview counts, and then I think this one counts. So
they'll probably wrestle at the. They'll probably wrestle at the Salute. I would wrestle at the Salute.
It may be Oklahoma State if they need him.
Yeah, I don't know.
We skipped over 125 and 33. Let's do 125. Adrian Meza. I don't know if he's going to be the guy at the end of the year in the press conference. In that master class of a press conference by Coach Dresser, he kind of alluded that this wasn't going to be the team. I'll say, let me rewind this a little bit. I don't want to do all these tangents, but I feel like Iowa State answered a lot of questions after this dual meet, and I know that you texted me that Iowa seems to have more questions after this dual meet. I think that's what you're saying, but I feel like for Iowa State, we answered a lot of like who's made of what kind of, and I think Adrian Meza is made of.
Who's made of what? What the fuck does that even mean?
Like, see what these guys are made of. See what these guys, this freshman, we throw this true freshman out there where everyone's glazing Iowa's true freshman thrown out there. What about our true freshman we threw out there? And Adrian Meza goes out there, starts off the dual meet, calm, cool, and collected against Cale Peterson, who I think highly of, got the takedown.
Yeah.
And
hey, listen,
they even tried to steal that match from him.
What do you mean?
The second stall call on Meza was terrible.
Well, of course, but here's the other thing. BTN tried to steer it from Meza all the way to the middle third period. They were saying it's Terrakina.
And they weren't even saying the right name. They were saying it's
Meza something else. Yeah. He's a cool, calm, collected customer. That was a big dual meet. Good experience for him. Cale looks like he's just making weight and maybe just he didn't do anything. He didn't do nothing. Yeah, Johnson, he didn't do nothing.
He literally
he's making 25. So yeah, you're the guy. It's your spot. Maybe not. But if you don't do anything with it, it doesn't. He did nothing.
Yeah. Well, do you feel like I kind of have this take that sometimes it's better to wrestle out of state guys in this dual meet than guys that are from Iowa, just because guys that are from Iowa knows what this environment's going to be like. And guys that are from out of state don't really think of it as much. They don't really, I don't know.
Maybe.
That's my take.
Yeah, maybe. Once you walk in the arena, I assume it's it's you probably get up to the level of what's going on once you walk through the arena though. So what was your comment about you're not going to go back to dual there? Was it pretty belligerent or what?
Oh, it doesn't bring the best out of me. Okay, so like I'm there, I'm like trying to keep it cool and everything, but then when I get in that environment and I get around those kind of fans, like I can't stand it. I can't stand. Like I'm hearing people boo when they're calling stalling when a guy drops down to a leg and it's a 5 count. It's an automatic stall, and I'm
They don't even know
hearing.
the rules though. Come on.
That's what I'm saying. I can't go there. It brings the worst out of me. I'm tweeting things that I'm regretting. I didn't delete them, but I'm tweeting things I'm regretting the next day. I called it a Yankees ass team that'll never win. I mean, I'm not wrong. That's probably not. It's probably true, but at the same time, I don't like. The next day, I'm like looking. I'm like, you know what? You need to just keep it home from now on.
What when did you get triggered? You could have been triggered at the break. You're up 12-6. When did you start getting triggered?
I mean,
You probably got 2 Carver cones at the break. You're happy.
people are booing Pinero because Pinero's happy that he got 16 points for Iowa State. They're booing Uten because Uten's like
Yeah,
out there.
I didn't like that. It was kind of the teamer deal happened right after Uten, and then as soon as Uten pulled up his leg, everybody's like
Booing
booing
him.
him. Some of the coaches are like, "Get him out there!" It's like, come on.
Like he's not waving the white flag. He's not. It wasn't even like a position where
It wasn't a longer.
It wasn't like, yeah, exactly. It wasn't like Caliendo was in on a leg and he's doing it. It was like he wasn't even doing it. He was just trying to continue to wrestle. He's getting booed for it. It's crazy. But anyways, I
Yeah,
get it.
listen,
I get it.
I mean, if you go into an environment that you haven't won in forever, you're gonna have a little bit of chip on your shoulder. You know what I mean?
I mean,
You're gonna be a
I,
little bit more sensitive. I get it. I understand.
I'm just saying. I think it's better for me to be home. I think it's better for me to be home from now on. Did you go?
No, told you I didn't go.
Did you hear Dan Gable in the broadcast when it was the an Uten's match when it
Caliendo.
was yes.
Oh,
Do you,
come on.
do you think he's an Iowa fan?
Come on. Of course he is.
Well, if you ask him, it's.
Did you hear? Do you remember? You probably don't remember. You probably weren't even watching wrestling back then. But my teammate and roommate, my true freshman year, Joe Johnson, pinned Luke Becker on one of Gable's first broadcasts, and he goes, "He's gonna pin the national champion. He just pinned the." It's like one of the best calls of all time. Gable, like, try not to be biased, but it was pretty awesome. Yeah, I don't know if I would have put Gable on there too long, anyways. I mean, it was that broadcast got a little sketchy for a while. But why is the Big Ten having a Big Ten Plus, anyways? Let's talk about that. Last year they had 275,000 people on ESPN. This year you got a Big Ten Plus.
I mean,
Tim Johnson and some.
there was a volleyball match that took over, I guess.
Are you kidding me right now?
I mean, numbers don't lie.
Hey, it just alludes to that another indication of where wrestling is in the scheme of things. Big Ten knows that they're gonna could have a huge. I guess they did a pay per view, but it was not a good product by them.
Yeah, I mean, I wish it was. I wish it was on ESPN like it is when it's in Hilton. But we go to the Big Ten, and this is kind of
Yeah, as long as Rock Harrison's not on the call, I'll be good with that.
okay. Let's go to 133. Your boy Drake Ayala. That to me was the MVP for Iowa's dual meet. Beat Evan Frost, and I thought Evan Frost looked good. And I felt like if you listen to Dresser's press conferences and we didn't see Evan Frost in the first dual meet. It sounded like he wasn't quite ready yet, and I felt like Evan Frost looked fine. And I actually ran into his coach the night before, Ryak Finch, his high school coach, and we were talking about it, and like he said that Evan's gonna be fine, and I thought Evan Frost looked fine. I think if they wrestled again, I think if those guys wrestle 10 times, I don't know who wins the majority of them, but I didn't feel like either guy really dominated the other guy or one guy got tired or whatever. It was just kind of like Drake won. And, and I said too, like I said the night before, like I was going to pick Evan to win. I'd picked Evan to win, but at the same time, Drake wins in big moments. Like Drake, don't get me wrong, Drake will lose to guys like Brandon Kaler or Tyler Knox, moments that don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Sure, in seeding and stuff it matters, but in big time moments, Drake beats everybody he's supposed to beat.
Well, Sam Ayala, of course. Anytime you say anything like on these shows, everybody gets sensitive. But going into that match
What'd I say?
from
What'd
last
I say?
week, what?
What made him mad, I guess.
No, he said like I said going into this match with Evan being a returning All American and Drake moving up a weight, and Knox the week before, you would have had to say on paper that Evan was the favorite, and not saying that he was going to win or lose, but the thing I really like to see out of Drake is that we haven't seen in a long time, and kind of knowing his career, watching him, that's the first time you've really seen him shoot a fully committed swing single since before he got hurt.
Yeah.
So,
And I said,
which is
I said too that Evan Frost was gonna have to like. I thought that Evan Frost was only gonna have to avoid the slide by, and I felt like if it got to a single leg, that Evan Frost was gonna be able to tangle him up and be able to scramble. There's a lot of narratives on Drake's name that he can't scramble, but he doesn't have to. He didn't need to, and he didn't
he
even
got
hit
to the leg to start with, and Evan weaseled out of that one. You're like, oh, kind of. Drake got back there, good finish. I think he was expecting maybe to do the limp arm that he did. He ran the pipe, good finish. He got to three single legs, finished two of them, and then
But
late in
at
the
the
match,
end,
Frost
he
was
right at the end
late at
he.
the end. Frost he hoodooed him, hit it with a slide by on the edge, which kind of iced it.
I thought too, like I thought after Evan took him down that he was gonna ride him. I felt like that momentum because we've seen Drake kind of be stuck on bottom before against guys that are good on top. And if you remember Evan Frost last year, he was pretty solid on top. He's a good rider, but I mean, Drake won. Drake won.
Yeah, it's him. I think it's also Drake getting his confidence moving into the weight. Thought Frost, I think hold center, he'll get better as the year goes. He's going to improve at the weight. He's a winner.
Yeah. So going forward, no worries about Drake at 133 now. You feel like that wasn't
I
that was
don't.
a
I
match.
didn't say there's not worries. I mean, there's always going to be. I mean, I don't know what you say worries, but it was a good. It was a good bounce back from the Stanford match.
141. We got Zach Redding and Ryder Block. Zach Redding, I'm just gonna nickname him Jesser's Hitman because when Jesser needs a job done, whether it's at 149, whether it's at 141 or 133, he sends Zach Redding out there. He gets taken down right away. I'm thinking, oh well, this is gonna get ugly. If we lose this duel, if we lose that match, especially after losing 133, this is going to get ugly. And Zach Redding hung in there tough. Block just, I don't
Second
know.
period was the difference, right?
Yeah, Block couldn't get out, and at the end of the
Got
day,
turned, right?
I don't think he got turned. Did he? I don't think he did.
How did Redding score his points then?
What was the final score? The final score was 5-4, so a takedown, and he got an escape in the first period, and then he got an escape in the third period or second period, whatever it was.
Okay.
But
I don't know why you go under. Auto bottom with 3-point takedowns doesn't make sense.
yeah,
Especially when you gave up a minute riding time the second.
I feel like that was kind of the only coaching hiccup for Iowa, but it didn't really matter.
I mean, it didn't matter.
It didn't matter in the grand scheme of the duel. It didn't matter.
Oh, the duel, yeah. Well, nothing really mattered. We knew that going into it wasn't really going to matter.
Well, I would
I mean,
say that.
it was a foregone conclusion before. It's like Tom Brands walked out like this. He said 44-1. He kept doing this.
I'm just saying, like, some things in the duel matter. Like when we get to 149, we're gonna talk about how those.
We already talked about it.
I
Like,
know.
why are you riding?
I know, but what I'm saying is like those were decisions that changed the way that this dual meet went, and I don't feel like at 140, like 141, I think I had Zach Redding winning. Did you have Zach Redding winning beforehand? I did.
I said it was a toss-up.
Okay. Well, what'd you think of it?
Of what?
What'd you think of that match?
I just think Ryder. I mean, both Kale and Ryder. I don't know if they're both cutting a bunch of weight, but there wasn't like high energy like normal, right? And
Okay. So Iowa lost their matches because of weight, and
no, I'm not saying that. I didn't. I gave both those guys credit. I just think that like if
Well,
you as you're assembling, as you're a GM and you're assembling the team, right? and you're saying, okay, the back half of Iowa's lineup for the most part looks like it's going to score quite a few points at the NCAA tournament. You look at the front half and you say, okay, maybe 2 out of 5 right now, 3 out of 5 high point scorers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's
I think Ryder just needs more mat time. As many matches as he can get, the better. Like being able to score from ties is, he kept pushing off. He stung people with doubles. Ryder hopefully doesn't lose his confidence. I hope he's not. I mean, back to back, but he's a winner. He'll come around. Hopefully. At this
uh,
point, let me say this: all on both sides, unless they wrestle each other, I'm a state of Iowa fan. I'm not going to be a hater against the Iowa State guys. I wasn't to start with, but it's like I don't know. Like after this duel is over, it's kind of like gloves off, isn't it?
yeah.
I mean, it should be.
Yeah.
If you're from the state of Iowa, I mean, I know you'll still have your cry towel about stay home and blah blah, but
Because of I mean, I'm staying home because of me. Like if I can't if you know you can't
you're getting triggered. You're getting triggered too easy. The Centerville's coming out on you.
I did get triggered. I shouldn't have been.
All right. Well,
I'm saying if I would have been home, it would have been I would have been
you should have the face. You should have showed up with the face paint on.
Could you imagine being there in Iowa State stuff with the face paint? You think that would have gone well for me? Um
I don't know. How much did you
uh
pay for your tickets?
I had some good seats. I was by Ferrari Senior. I said hi to him.
Also, he knew that he was going to wrestle then, huh?
He was there. He was there.
He didn't come all the way up from Texas just to watch.
I didn't ask him. I didn't ask him, but I mean, I agree with you.
Oh,
He
you were a
probably
little bit
knew.
scared after all that shit you were talking about the Ferrari. You kind of hide it a little
No,
bit.
no. He said he was walking up and he was like, we both look at each other. I was like, "What's up?" He's like, "Hey, man, good to see you." Like, I don't. No, you can't say I talk shit about Ferraris when the other day I was getting investigated on Twitter for saying I was excited. Somebody said I suck up to AJ Ferrari. So which is it? Do I suck up to him?
Wow.
I mean,
Wow.
it doesn't even matter. Um,
Who's
197.
investigating?
They were mad because somebody was mad. I shouldn't say
Who, the
they.
soy
One
boys?
guy.
The soy boys are mad?
You could say that, yeah,
All
probably.
right.
But anyways, Stephen Buchanan, Christian Carroll. I was
Called
surprised.
it.
I
Called
was.
it.
I thought Christian Carroll was gonna be able to
Called it.
hang in there. 10-0 is a little shocking
It
for me.
was
Not,
zero. Oh, it was 0-0. It was 3-0 to take them right at the last minute, right?
yeah, it was.
Last second. And what I say the difference was going to be top bottom. Didn't I tell you that?
I'm not gonna lie. That was like the last two matches I didn't rewatch. I rewatched the duel before you got on here. I didn't watch those matches. The last three,
Wow.
the last four matches I didn't watch. But yeah,
I
I
mean,
don't know.
Carroll bounced back. It just looked like he didn't think he could win the match. Like the moment was big to him. He didn't really try to score. Just like he just didn't want to get. I don't know.
Yeah.
He never really tried to score any points.
I was expecting him to come out motivated, especially listening to his interviews. He came, he was saying he was whatever. I don't know. I mean, Steve Buchanan might win it this
Listen.
year.
It's a big moment.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of one of those. It was kind of one of those moments for me where it's just like I was saying earlier. Like Iowa's just got a good team. Like they just got a good team. Like you wouldn't even in Carroll's best day, does he beat Buchanan? I don't think he does. Like
I mean, yeah,
that.
they got two number ones and what number what's Parko ranks number 3 or something 5.
Yeah, but I mean, are you counting? Never mind. Uh, heavyweight,
All right, go
young.
ahead. Let me I gotta get a charger. I'm right here though. Keep going. Let me give you your moment about heavyweight and ranked opponent. Go ahead.
So Younger Bastida comes out. We haven't seen him all year. I didn't think he looked particularly that great in the match, but he did what he had to do. He beat Ben Keeter by a decision of 7-2. I said before this dual meet that Ben Keeter didn't stand a chance, which I mean, I would say at the end there was a slight chance that he was going to get that pin against Younger, but Younger doesn't lose the Hawkeyes. He just beats them. That's what he does. It's in his DNA. Undefeated, I think. And yeah, at the end of the day, I guess I was right.
Uh, yeah, I don't know. Keener's thinking too much. I mean, Younger's unreal, but like you had the cradle locked up. Like at that point, you got the duel sealed. Why didn't he go for it?
I don't think he could.
He had his hands locked.
Then why didn't he go for it? Like the only reason would be
I don't
because
know.
he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. Younger's better than people think on the mat. Like that was 4 or 5 years ago. Like that is.
You think Younger may have been baiting him a little bit?
I don't know. I didn't think Younger looked that great, to be honest. Do you? Did you think?
I didn't think he looked very good either. Like
I
he
did-
looked rusty.
I would guess that he's probably not going to. My guess is we probably won't see him very much in the rest of this semester. To be honest, maybe. Well,
You don't
I'm
think
sorry.
he's going to go see KLV?
Probably not. But I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to the Humboldt duel,
The what? Who they wrestled Humboldt?
North Dakota State, and that means a lot to Dresser. It's a big event. People are going.
Shut that
Peop-
way.
People are going to see that. It's not like North Dakota State has anybody at heavyweight to be concerned about, but I wouldn't be surprised if Younger does not go to CKOV, to be honest.
Who did they wrestle?
North Dakota State.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, well, I think that's the next time that we see Younger.
Well, what did you think about? So, yeah, he didn't. They got to get Keeter some new partners. I said it before, and I'll say it again. Like he's got to quit wrestling like a heavyweight.
Well, who's he rolling? Who's the heavyweight in the room that he's
I
wrestling
don't know who
with?
they. I mean, they got like.
When
Did you
you
watch
guess-
the Gable match the other night?
When you guess that he's probably going with guys like Buchanan,
Maybe. I mean,
I
not.
wouldn't.
I
I wouldn't say
don't know.
that
Maybe we should
Buchanan.
call Bob and ask Bob how. Maybe we should ask Bob who he's got him practicing with. You want to ask Bob that?
Yeah, is he here?
No.
I bet he's.
I don't know, maybe he is.
I mean, I don't know why. I don't know
let's
why.
let's talk about this. What was the? I got a screenshot sent to me. What was the thing he put on the message board about Dresser?
What's that?
You didn't see the post?
No, you're gonna have to say it.
He called Dresser sweet cakes or sweet lips. You saw this.
Yeah, and isn't sweet lips like something you call somebody when they talk too much?
I don't know. Look it up on Urban Dictionary.
I think it is, and if that's the case, Bob talks too much.
I know he's had some analogies before about people on the message boards that didn't turn out too good for him sometimes. So I don't know.
Yeah, when he called a woman. Never mind. I don't want to go there.
No, I just didn't understand where it came from.
I don't either.
I
don't
thought
either.
Dresser was pretty respectful in the build up.
That's the thing. Dresser, and I said it as a masterclass, gave Iowa all the credit. He said, congrats to everybody at Iowa, the donor base, the
He was
coach,
taking
all
shots
that.
then.
That wasn't shots. That's okay. Here's the take on that. I was arguing with some Iowa fans about this. They were saying that Iowa State wishes they had a Bob, and that's the game now.
Well, who
and blah,
doesn't?
blah, blah, blah.
Who doesn't wish they had a billionaire?
But Dresser wasn't refuting that. Dresser said this is the new game now, and they're good at the game. He's congratulating Tom for being good at the game. I don't know why that doesn't take away their performance or anything like that. They're good at the game. It's the new game. And, if Iowa State wants to beat Iowa anytime soon, we're going to have to get better at the game. And right now, Iowa's Bob and company is better at the game.
I guess that's a good way of putting it.
And I'm tired of seeing people act like it's not that. It is that. And Iowa State's trying to. We brought in some guys too. I put out that Twitter video. I said, just like Tom Brands, we didn't know that all those guys are going to be showing up and wrestling for Iowa this year. If that's not true, then that is a crime. If Tom knew that, then that's a crime.
That's funny, though. I didn't see that video.
And I'm only saying that. I got flack for that, but I'm only saying that because Tom said that. Tom said that in his press conference. He said that they knew Parko, but then he said the other guys just showed up. Buchanan and Teamer just showed up first day of school, whatever. So I was only going, if I let something out of the bag there that I shouldn't have, my apologies, but I was only going off of the press conference, which is what we do here. We watch the press conferences, we react to them. I don't have any other knowledge. That is
So
what I
have you heard
saw.
anything about the Teamer situation?
Injury wise, no. Is he good to go?
I don't know. I don't have any inside information on Iowa City now. You know that.
You have more than I do, that's for sure.
Um,
I don't think it means much, but he was on crutches afterwards. But I
does he take another? Does he take a medical red shirt just to come back for another payday from Bob?
wouldn't you?
I don't know, but like
Who goes for Iowa at 157 then if he's out?
I don't know.
Ratchy?
Maybe, but he's not a 57 pounder. But I'm just saying, like
Voinovich?
maybe the younger Voinovich looks to be wrestling as good as. We don't think we've even seen the older Voinovich all year, have we?
No, he's around though.
So I'm just saying, like one of these, you got you're one injury away from Bob getting a trophy, from Bob not maybe getting a trophy.
Yeah. You don't
I
think
mean,
they're
in
gonna?
your words, since you said it's Bob's team.
No, I'm not. I'm
I
only
thought
saying
Teamer.
Bob
I thought
because his name's on the
Teamer did it
wall.
to him. He did that
Listen,
injury to. He did
Bob's
that to
name.
himself. Like he had the ankle pulled out. Oh,
I don't even know if Bob's the pay guy. I'm only going off that because Bob's name was on the wall, so I'm just reading the name. I just reading the names on the walls. Like that's what I thought. So I thought.
wow.
No, I
I
thought. No,
can't deal with this. I can't deal with this. The sarcasm level you're at right now.
I'm being dead serious. If my name is on the wall, like Bogle House, I'm just reading the name. So I thought Bob must be like the guy.
Oh, maybe.
It says Bob Nichols' room. Why didn't you go to the dual meet?
There's no need
Your
for me to be in there.
your tickets got negated. Why did your tickets
Negated.
get
That was funny,
negated?
right?
Yeah,
Huh?
why did that happen?
I don't know. Ever since the fallacy that I'm the one that got Chittum to leave Iowa, they've kind of just blackballed me. I haven't heard it directly from anybody there, but all indirectly.
Okay. Well, I let's get
So
that patched up. Why did so afterwards Jesser says this isn't our team going forward maybe, so Chittum's coming back. I mean, if what they're saying is true, you're close to the Chittums, you know more than I do. Is Chittum coming back? Is Etchemindia going down? Is what's going on?
I mean, I don't. I think it's always been their best lineup with Etchemendy at 41,
Right. And
Pinero 49, Chittum 57. Now that Casey's not a, I mean, for their best lineup, I think that's probably it. Now I did see. It's kind of funny about the transfers. That Kreiser kid, he's wrestling for
Illinois.
Illinois.
Yeah, he's kind of doing all right. He lost tonight,
He's
but
doing
he's
good, but I think that's probably their best. I think Chittum has to go back to um, Pittsburgh and do like there's a concussion center out there testing or whatever. I don't want to go into specifics that I've heard hearsay, but I think that's probably their better lineup.
Did you hear Angelo in the press conference afterwards? And he's getting ready to answer something, and Tom's in the back yelling, "Don't answer that." Did you hear that?
No, I didn't see that. What happened?
Well, he brought Angelo in to do the. I don't know who brings the athletes in. Is that the media that asks for somebody, or is that the SID that picks somebody? I thought they would have went with
Coach, maybe. I
Kennedy.
don't know. I seen the thumbnail with them both on the. Angelo had his hood up. Tom was kind of slouched a little bit in his chair. Yeah.
Angelo did great. Angelo didn't do anything
What
bad
they
in
ask
there.
him? What
But
they ask him?
they asked Angelo what adjustments he was going to, like a very basic question, to be honest. It was like, what adjustments do you need to?
What Tom say something about like probably not
Well,
giving specifics or something like that?
yeah. So Angelo goes, "Oh, I need to work." Literally, Angelo goes and says like some basic shit. He's like, my fakes, I can't remember what else he said, but it was like very like things, very surface level things. And Tom's in the background yelling, "Don't answer that! Don't answer that!" Or we don't need to give him all the details. It was like no details, really. But like if you watch a press conference for like any other sport and they said like what do you need to work on, you would say stuff like I need to work on my hitting. I need to work on my not striking out. Like that's are you really like letting the opponent in? Like what in your mind, you wrestled, you know those guys way more than me. So like what is it with that? Like what do
They
you
don't
just
want to be. They think that any information for the outside could potentially harm them on the inside. That's everything though. Like they run a tight ship.
Okay, so then let me ask you this: like, if if that's the case, and they say that, like, we don't want to let any information out that could harm us, then you also hear guys in interviews, not Iowa specifically. I did hear Ben Keeter say this, that they asked him, like, when when you wrestle this guy next week, have you watched his footage? Nope, I don't watch anything. Blah blah blah. Like, wouldn't you want to use that information that other teams are giving out that you don't want to give out? Like, wouldn't you want to take that in, and or is that athlete speak and they actually are watching footage and film? And
Well, I hope they're watching footage. I mean, like Mark Perry used to always say, if there's footage, if you're gonna fight Mike Tyson and you circle into his uppercut, you're an effing idiot for not knowing. Like, you don't want to obsess about it, but you better know like where they're good.
right, but I feel like sometimes in the responses we hear like, "Oh, I don't need to."
Well, maybe they don't watch film. I don't know. I mean, there's been some things in the past, just decisions, athletes, coaches during matches that they obviously didn't watch film. I don't know. Like maybe they don't want to focus on. It's just whatever the mentality of the program is. But as as much as out there, you should be watching everything.
What
There should be nothing that you get surprised about in a wrestling match these days. There's so much footage out there on everybody.
was
Nothing.
there was there anything surprising to you that Iowa State did or that Iowa did that maybe either team, like, you were surprised how that went, or
Well, I was
any?
surprised again. Like even knowing before the match, you got to know that Zach Redding's pretty good on top. Okay, he's seasoned. You already see in the second period where Ryder got rode for a minute, and then you go right back down.
And you don't need to because you're still
You
down.
don't need to,
Right.
right? Uh, Etchemendy on top doesn't make any sense to me.
Did you
Like there's just little strategic tactics. It's like it's always easy from the outside. You know, Monday morning quarterback. Why are you doing this? I don't know. I think I've said this before, and I'm not. This isn't bashing anybody, but I think there's some things from a planning and preparation standpoint. Sometimes it makes Penn State look a lot better than they really are. Sometimes just because they're 2 steps ahead of everybody.
what did you think about Penn State's weekend?
I thought like, where's Facundo going to transfer? Like that guy went from a 74 pounder, beat Levi Haynes at the trials, cuts all the way down to 57, loses to Resloff. Kasich definitely looks like the better guy. It's like time for a change. Like if he's gonna leave, he should leave now.
But these
He
guys
won't go
don't.
wrestling anywhere this year, but like
They don't. They don't leave. He could wrestle second semester, right? Owen Treffin did
no,
that.
you can't wrestle second semester.
Okay. Well,
Who
he
knows
hasn't.
in this day and age? I don't know. I'm not a
Yeah.
compliance guy, but I don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I thought Zach
Ryder.
Bar, no the Bar Josh
Josh
Barr,
Barr.
sorry. Josh Barr looked really good.
Okay. And then
What about what was Zach Ryder and Marisola score? Or not Marisola, Strachey.
they didn't do it.
Oh, default?
I don't think that they did it at 184. I think that they in the finals. Are you talking about?
Double forfeit?
Yeah, which is kind of funny to me.
Wow,
I feel like
I can't believe no one's calling out Strachey saying he's dodging competition.
I will give Iowa some whatever here. Like, if that was Iowa, there would probably be like they sent. We were talking about this in the Discord. Like, they were talking about they had Spencer Lee wrestling Drake out there in front of.
They didn't want that to happen. Drake pushed that. That's why Spencer's so pissed off. Like,
But they
they
could
were
have
supposed.
stopped. They could have stopped it, and they didn't. Like,
You
they.
can't tell a guy he's got a forfeit.
So he went out there. Drake just did that.
Drake wanted to wrestle. That was
Okay.
where like all the heat was coming from on Spencer. Like he said he wanted it. Like that's when he got up and said that, right? Drake wanted to wrestle.
Okay, but we also saw Marinelli and Kennedy go at it at the Luther Open. We saw DeSanto and Shriver go at it at the Luther Open.
Those were wrestle. That's kind of how they determined their lineup at that point, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, well, who knows why didn't he get a chance to beat
So we'll see if the
Strachey?
salute. Like I think 74 is probably decided to salute.
Yeah, who's your bet?
I mean, is
Kennedy?
Gabe Arnold enter 74? He said at the beginning he's gonna be 74 pounder.
I have a hard time believing that Kennedy loses to Nelson Brantz.
You do?
I do, don't you?
No.
I see Kennedy go out there and smash people, and I see Nelson Brantz go out there and who did he wrestle? Who's Iowa's duel this year so far? But He's had. I mean, I know that that's just kind of the way that they wrestle, but I every time I see Kennedy go out there, he looks amazing.
Early in the year, always, I think.
I feel like the only reason why they're not going with him is Nelson's beating him in the room.
I mean, that's the conundrum you're in, right? Like, I guess Kennedy. I've heard. I don't know whether it's true or not. Like, not anybody on staff or whatever, but like for Kennedy not to leave with the deck that's stacked against him. I mean, I guess no one can question his loyalty or stupidity, one or the other.
I don't know if this is true, but I heard that they told him like, "Hey, like they kind of gave him their blessing to leave," and he said no.
That's what I alluded to too. I've heard that. I don't know if that's. I don't know if it's. I have a hard time them saying that to anybody, but
You don't believe that they would
uh,
do that even to a guy like that? That would
I
just
mean,
kind
did
of.
they the stories that you hear, whether they're true or not, did they didn't they allegedly those other guys that left, they never those guys just left, packed their shit in the middle of the night and were out.
I heard that. So I didn't see this happen, but some people were saying that they were flipping Riggins off. I don't think that that's true though. I think that that was
Who was
not
slipping them
true.
off?
The bad guys.
The coaches?
That's what was told to me. I don't think that that's true. I didn't see
Oh
that.
wow.
I didn't see
Who
it.
told you
I
that?
didn't
Pat
see it.
Manio?
It was a Cyclone fan that told me that. I will say
Oh,
that.
I thought you were gonna say it's the guy that said that Marcus Blaze signed for $37 million to go to Penn State.
Is that true? Wow.
That's just mind blowing to me.
Why was Tom going like this? What was this about?
Oh, I'm sure he was motherfucking this guy like you fuck that's fuck it like whatever. So actually very smart at his point. So couldn't be lip read and then have the internet go wild on him, right? Like he's pretty savvy.
Okay.
Like all these guys, these football coaches, like said the whatever coach said, old Miss coach, keep it up, Ole Miss. I'm gonna fucking score another touchdown. That was over the internet this weekend. So he covered his mouth while he's mother effing the ref.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
smart.
I remember when they got into it over that clip when COVID and they had no crowd was there, so you could pick the mics are picking up everything and the whole you don't like tough wrestling, like that whole clip went viral. And I remember coming to bat for Tom and being like, this stuff happens all the time in college football where coaches are cussing.
That was Terry Brands that was saying that it was to the Ragusan kid.
Yeah, the polished corner over there. But I was saying like you see that kind of stuff. They said the polished corner. What'd you think I said?
I don't know what you said.
Are you? Is your hat say masturbator?
It says average fisherman.
Masturbator. Is this the new clothing
Yeah,
line
good
you're
fisherman.
dropping? Is this the new clothing line?
No, it's just a good fishing hat.
As you okay? So you've been baiting me into stuff this whole time, huh? You're the masturbator.
I haven't been baiting you anything. I was just having a conversation. I thought you were gonna have this gotcha moment ready for me though.
What's the
Hey,
gotcha moment?
Do you still not believe me about the Gable call to Iowa?
Say what was it? Remind me.
I said that Gable called and said he's coming back, Iowa, and they said no, we got our heavyweight.
I still don't believe you. Yeah, I still believe that was fake news. Like I think this is where I'm at with you. I know that like you keep trying to assure me and the people that you're no longer with the dark side, I guess, or you're not.
What do you mean I'm no longer with them? I'll always be a Hawkeye.
No, I know that, but like to the extent of you, like you wouldn't have missed that dual meet a couple years ago.
What do you mean?
You wouldn't have missed that dual meet. You would have been.
I didn't miss it. I watched it.
I mean, you would have been in the building.
I got a lot of stuff going on.
I know that you do.
Maybe.
But what I'm saying, what my point is here, is I don't really know if maybe you're trying to like you're this secret.
Yeah.
Well, like I worry about you being around Iowa State sometimes.
Wow. You think I'm like a double agent?
Okay, if I was okay.
You think I'm a double agent?
I'm not nearly connected with Iowa State as you once were or are or whatever.
You mean Iowa?
With Iowa. No. Listen. I'm saying this. I am not as connected with Iowa State as you think or like whatever like you are with or like you used to be with Iowa. This is what I'm saying.
Wow.
Do you think that Tom would allow me to go to be in the Iowa situation?
He let you in his office. What do you mean? He did an interview in your office. He welcomed you in.
With you, and that was before And that was like now it's way more out there. I mean, I'm way more of a homer now than I was in the beginning. So like,
I still think he'd do the interview. He did 2 interviews with you actually. He did one in Des Moines and one in Iowa City. You got more interviews with him than Dresser. Someone might say you're a Hawkeye fan. You might be the double agent here, actually.
I'm saying this though, like I worry about you being around Iowa State because you could just run and tell them. And why do they have
Tell
this?
them what?
Whatever needs to be told. Like,
who am I? I'm not around anybody. I don't go to any of these guys' practices.
I know that, but like you're connected in the streets. Everybody knows that.
I'm not these guys that gets on Twitter that wants to break news about.
No, I know
Oh,
that. I
breaking
know that.
news.
I know that. But and I'm not saying that you do that. I'm just saying like I don't fully believe that you're off the wagon.
I'm not. Well, I'm never going to be off the wagon. So,
And
if you're trying to get me to admit that I'm
No.
still a Hawkeye, I am still a Hawkeye.
Oh, no, I'm not. I don't care about that. That's we have you on the show because you represent that side of the argument and people like it.
I don't represent anybody.
You call balls and strikes, but also like I
Yeah,
feel
but
you're still a Hawkeye.
I don't do the homer call either. You know what I mean?
You don't do the what?
Well, the homer call, like I'm just with the Iowa blinders on. You know what I mean?
Okay, we just got a comment that said the double agent, he's the real Bob.
No,
No.
not even close, dude.
That was kind
I'm
of quiet.
peanuts.
That was kind of quiet.
The real Bob. My name's out on the wall. It's not my room. Remember? It is pretty impressive. It is pretty impressive how much money that program has got put into it. If you look at the facility NIL, I mean, the amount of money put that program could probably combat Ohio State's NIL number this year.
So why would why is it a diss when I say that?
It's not. I mean,
Like I say that, and people are like, "Well, Iowa State has this many transfers too." Well, it's like, I'm not refuting that. I'm just saying, like, congrats to Bob. They got a good roster. I'm being told from the wall that he's running the show. I mean, that's it. I'm congratulating him.
well, I mean, if you look at their recruiting, like last year, the only or biggest recruit was Angelo. This next coming year, DeLuca, right? I think they definitely have shifted their strategy
Yeah.
to maybe more opportunistic versus recruiting.
Okay. Do you think that's
Well, I think I don't think there's maybe not as much risk put on. You know what you're kind of getting.
okay? What did you make of Dresser's interview there at the end at the press conference?
I mean, what else do you say in defeat? I think he was classy. He didn't. I think he called some guys out. Like he said that Drake was tougher than Evan. I mean, so that was kind of a direct call out, right?
Yeah.
Dresser doesn't pull much punches. Like we've seen in press conferences before him call his whole team out, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
people can say whatever they want about Dresser, and most of those people are just jealous. I mean, he works. You're not gonna find a head coach that works harder than him.
It's a fact.
He calls balls and strikes. He stands up for his guys. But he's also, I think, you're gonna call guys out when he called out,
It's a fact.
right?
I saw Chris Perry there too. I like him.
I heard he took some ribbon in the crowd. I heard that people were yelling about "You're a water boy." Take care, like when Carroll was getting beat. I heard all kinds of stuff people said.
I think that was just some like Mike Evans PTSD or something from the crowd.
Wow,
Well, I don't know why they wouldn't like him.
I don't know either.
I don't know either. All right, fellers, masturbator.
What about? But that's it. So what else? Like,
What do you
that's all
got
you're
for
gonna-
me? What do you got for me?
I did. I seen. I wonder how much jump around is going on in Wisconsin.
Oh my gosh, it's bad.
And rumor is they just got cut to AD, and also they got cut from 9.9 to 5 scholarships next year, starting next year.
They're going through their KJ era. It seems like.
What do you mean? Wow. Fair enough. KJ's wife for that. When are we going to see Gibbons and Sparks on the call?
I asked Gibbons, and he said that because it wasn't on TV that it like
It's
he's the
below his pay grade.
no, he didn't say that. It was just like him and Shane do the TV package, and so they
It
had
was
Tim
interesting to see
Johnson.
like all one. I wonder who determines what goes on TV and why did it go Saturday. Like you had
I'm just
ESPN last year.
I'm just glad they didn't
Burrows was
like.
there.
Usually when it's Big Ten Plus, they have like
Kids.
they pick yeah like kids like I know like Young and Marinelli do it, which usually it's really low ratings when they do it. It's some of the lowest ratings I've seen when they do it. So I was happy when
That was such a Trump line. It's actually some of the
I
lowest ratings out there.
I've never seen lower ratings. But no, I mean, I listened to some of it. It seemed like the one guy didn't know much, but but Tim Johnson,
Three. They kept going like this. 3, 2, 1, and they start talking.
yeah. I mean, I was kind of laughing when the whole first match they were talking about Tarakina and how he got recruited to Iowa State, and I was like, did they not watch any? Like, it would take 2 seconds of homework to figure out that wasn't
Hey,
Tarakina.
one guy. Hey, the guy didn't even have an ankle bracelet on. They should have known it wasn't Tarakina.
I heard that Tarakina the night before got a little dinged up, and I heard that Gaetan also.
Dinged up. Hey, dinged up or dinged up.
That would be clinked up.
Oh, cleaned up. Yeah.
Um, but no, I don't know.
CKLB. Iowa State gonna defend their title or not?
Forgot about that. Damn, I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
That's in 2 weeks. That's usually the Nebraska national championship has been.
I think the. Do you think Nebraska's kind of not being talked about as much? I know that.
I
Who
mean, how can you be talking about the only thing that needs to be talked about in Nebraska is Nebraska volleyball, not football, nothing.
did you watch football last weekend?
I don't really watch college football. Why would happen?
I was talking about the Colorado
Indiana
Kansas
got
game.
mollywopped. I seen that.
Yeah, Iowa State back in the Big 12 championship picture. We just got to win on Saturday.
Who they got to beat?
Like people think I'm bummed as an Iowa State fan because we lost to Iowa in a dual meet when it's like I'm watching like literally right now is a tip off between our number 5 ranked team basketball team going to face off against Auburn who's the number like 4 ranked team and then our football team is also in the freaking Big 12 hunt. Like you think I'm going to care about a regular season dual meet. It's like I know I got a lot of flack for saying that, but there's so many
Wow.
other things going on
How
for
happy
me.
would you be if they won though?
Against Iowa. It'd be
Wait, let me
cool.
ask you this:
It'd be cool.
over under 10 years. Does Iowa lose? Tom Brand's contract goes through 29, I think.
Under.
So does Tom Brands finish his contract undefeated against Iowa State? Oh,
No.
yeah. I mean, what was probability?
No, no, not at all. Like, here's the thing. Okay, so here's the thing.
4 years?
I remember last year somebody saying that they were gonna make a bet. I think it was Corby and Willie were gonna make a bet who was like in the next
Who's gonna
six.
fight who in the bathroom?
No, like it was like in the next 10 years, could Iowa State beat Iowa in March? We did it last year. Like people are forgetting that like that matters. Like we
Yeah,
literally
but
beat them.
this is what I was trying to tell you. No one cares about like. It's like you're saying, oh, there's no way. If Tom had to choose between beating Iowa State or Penn State in a duel, Iowa State every time. And you're like, no way, because guess what? There was a I would beat what years was it? I would beat Penn State 2 years consecutively in a duel. Everybody forgot about it. I think it was
But
like 2021.
but back to my point. Even with the dual meet thing, it's like I understand that like Iowa right now has a pretty big jump on everybody, as does Penn State, as does Oklahoma State with the NIL stuff. But everybody else, I think, is gonna like catch up to them, or at least be able to take the talent instead of just going to those 3 schools, and be able to take them away. So instead of those schools getting 4 guys every year, they might get 1 or 2 because everyone else is going to be able to catch up. And if there's anybody out there that I would want at the head of my organization when it comes to the business side of things, it's Dresser. Has he been able to find that guy right now? Maybe not. I'm hearing some good things. I've heard there's some people coming around this program with some money, but I remember when he got here right after
They
KJ,
didn't have a dime.
they didn't have a dime. And I heard, I don't know if it's true, but I heard like the first summer he raised like $1 million, like right away. And it was look at how much they paid Metcalf right away. It was a big bump from what the previous administration was getting paid. St. John and Zadok were all getting paid way more, and that was just from the RTC stuff. Now everything is 10x, and Dresser even said it in the press conference last week. Like, instead of coaching and stuff, I'm eating lunch. I'm eating Sunday night dinner with Joe Rich Guy. So if there's anybody out there that I want in my corner to raise money, along with being able to take these athletes and teach them how to wrestle, it's Dresser. So I think everything in a couple years, if wrestling's still even a college sport, that it's gonna get a little bit more watered down, and you're not gonna see everybody going to the top 3 schools. Do you think I'm wrong?
I don't think everybody goes to the top 3 schools right now.
I mean,
the amount of parity in the sport's huge, man. You're talking transfers, right?
Transfers, yeah.
You forgot about Michigan. They bought a title or bought a trophy.
Last year, yeah. This year they're kind of mid, but what I'm saying is, like, I think
you gotta have sustainable money. There's no doubt about it. There's always these guys that are one-hit wonders, but to have the money come every year over and over, it's going to require more just from scholarship standpoint. Some schools are going to get 30 scholarships. Some are going to go down to 5.
Dresser was doing bingo halls to raise money for a high school team in Virginia. He said if it was legal in Iowa,
$1.5 million a year.
And if it was legal in Iowa, he'd be doing that now.
Bingo. The other thing let me leave you with this. Talk about like RTCs and how important the money is. This would be a good case study. Look at Arizona State thus far up. They got a trophy 2 years ago. With Sunkiss now removed, how it affects their program.
Right. No, 100%. I mean, they're getting, yeah. I mean, look at Wisconsin, though. Like, Hamidi leaves.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to happen.
But I like to see some of these good top tier guys get experience big programs like Hamidi, Hendrickson, those kind of guys now being in the spotlights. Kind of cool to see.
Yeah. All right, fellas. Masturbator. Right. Thanks for
good luck next year.
Good luck next year. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. So thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll be back next week with your regularly scheduled program. We've been having fellers on just because it's been CyHawk week. We're going to have them on throughout the season as well, hopefully. But thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Click subscribe, by the way.